Hawaii train for the first time ever. I've heard a lot about it. It's usually a lot of negative opinions about it, but I just want to go and see for myself how it actually is. I lived in Japan for a long time, so I'm very used to trains being a part of pretty much everyday life. I lived in Tokyo for several years, so I basically caught the train every single day, and then I lived in the countryside in Fukuoka Prefecture and probably caught the train maybe like once every weekend for like an hour just to get into the city. So just wanted to have this experience and see how it went. Add pass. It's not touchscreen.
Oh.
How much is the fare?
I think it's doesn't say how much.
Just put $3. Probably gonna cost. There's nothing that cheap there. Oh, you can pay with card at the machine. Better than Tokyo. Pretty basic station. There's no convenience stores or anything. I feel like it's kind of hard to judge the rail right now. Like it doesn't really go anywhere yet, and everything that's kind of in place was designed for cars. Looks like they've got some new condos over there, but I think some of them are just a little bit far for walking right now. Why are the doors dirty already? So it's pretty nice inside. I like that there's a clear view from end to end. Big windows, the priority seats fold up so there's more standing space if they're not in use. And there's some luggage space on top. So far, just as someone who grew up here, it's kind of surreal that there's this train here that we're on. And so far, like it's a pretty smooth ride. Like it's not too bad. I didn't have the highest of expectations. I think anybody who lives or grew up in Hawaii has learned to not have the highest of expectations for things, but so far I think it's pretty good. Like there's some people on the train, it's not a lot, it's more or less empty, but there are some kids that got on at the last stop, so I feel like maybe for younger people who don't drive yet, they could find this quite useful. But yeah, so far it's pretty good. Track looks a little crooked. Okay, so we just got off and we're headed to Pearlridge, which is a shopping mall over here to get some lunch. So this is the station that's closest to the mall. I'm not sure if this walkway goes all the way to the mall. I know in like Japan or Hong Kong and stuff, usually the walkway would go all the way to the mall, but judging from this, I think it's just gonna put us onto the street and we just have to like walk there. A little inconvenient, but I don't really expect anything different. So yeah, figure out how to get to the mall. So I think the mall is about like 5 minutes away from the station, which isn't bad at all. It's just that it's a little hot in Hawaii. Of course, it's summer, which is terrible. Almost as hot as Japan. If you're going to Japan, try not to go in the summer, but if you are, hit up my wife's business, omakasetravels.com. She'll try to help you out. But yeah, we're almost at the mall. Pretty close, pretty convenient. Okay, just got done with lunch at Pearlridge. Good food. Just got back to the station to head back to the station that we came from. So one thing that we had an issue with was that we don't know how much is on our card. I'm not sure if there's an app or something, and maybe we just don't have it because we didn't really fully prepare for this. But I didn't know how much was on the card. I mean, I put in $3 at the beginning, but I had to double check to see how much the ride was. It would be nice, because there is a digital screen at the gate, it would be nice for it to tell you how much money is left on your card, so that you don't have to go to the machine and check. Another thing that's a little bit odd with the machines is that they're not touchscreen. So they have metal buttons, and you hit the button that's next to the icon or whatever. So that's something that I'm not used to because in Japan it's all touchscreen. I understand that's probably like for financial reasons, but that's one thing that I found a little bit unnatural or something that I'm not used to. But yeah, let's head back. Okay, so closing thoughts. I thought the train was pretty good. Just looking at the train, it's a very comfortable ride. The air conditioning's good, relatively smooth. As far as the train itself goes, definitely acceptable. Maybe better than I expected it to be. The stations are a little bit bare. They're okay, but there's no conveniences. There's no like vending machine or like a little market or convenience store for quick grab and go kind of things. I think the train itself is fine. It just needs to go all the way into town for it to be a little bit more useful. I'm not sure why they didn't do that in the first place, or like start at the airport and then build both west and east so that it slowly would get more ridership. The train is marketed to be like a traffic solution, but I think what it should be is a way to keep development more condensed around stations, not necessarily high rises like a Hong Kong kind of thing, but having people live kind of close to these stations so that they can go about their everyday life without needing to drive a car. But I wish that they built the homes closer to the station first and then built out, because then the people that were living in those developments would be used to just walking to the station, catching the train sooner than later, just to get used to that lifestyle. So I think because the train is okay, it just comes down to whether or not they can afford to keep it running while no one's really riding it. And then if the developments around the stations take place so that regular locals can afford to live there for one, but also have it develop in a way where the train becomes a convenient part of their everyday life, so they can hop on the train easily, go to work, come back. Maybe there's like a supermarket or something, some fast food takeout or whatever it is. Just conveniences built around the station, so it's on the way to home. So they have to make this train convenient, but as far as the train itself, again, I enjoyed it. Thought it was better than I expected. So yeah, if you're interested in my life, I live half in Hawaii and half in Japan right now, and my YouTube covers that kind of thing. So feel free to subscribe or follow me up on Instagram as well. But yeah, thank you for watching and thank you for tuning in. I'll see you in the next one.